It's Zhang against Ronnie O'Sullivan for a place in the quarterfinals of the Bet Victor English Open. O'Sullivan has won their previous 3 meetings, most recently the February European Masters last year. The closest match they've had went to a deciding frame. Zhang recovering from 4-2 to 5-4. So Ronnie won't be taking anything for granted this evening.
He's still only a best-of-7 frame match. So, got to be on your toes, and Judd sort of struggled to get home, but in the end he did earlier on. In his first match he didn't look very comfortable out there with his elbow. He played superbly yesterday and not quite to that level today, has to be said. But he ended up winning against a very promising player. Nice shot to start.
1.
I think, as I said earlier, a lot of the opposition from the lower reaches of the rankings, young or old, a little bit intimidated by O'Sullivan. I don't think
16.
Zhang fits that bill.
17.
Really poor shot, actually, that last one.
24.
So much room on the right side.
25.
Nice recovery.
$33.
In Shanghai it was O'Sullivan. British Open last week in Cheltenham, Williams. If it was to be Higgins this week, the class of 92. He hasn't won yet, but he's playing as well as anybody, Higgins. Good start. He's on reds and blacks.
48.
But playing O'Sullivan, I don't think he was worried about possibility of 147 breaks, especially this early in the piece.
Zhang 48.
Well, that never threatened the pocket. That wasn't even close enough for it to stay over the hole, which was what usually would happen if you missed those. I don't know if there's 2 reds to the left middle that are close to a plant. He looked at Jason, and I know that Zhang hadn't really given them a second thought. If they're on, it's a bad misjudgment by him.
1.
I mean, that's just really poor, isn't it, to play a containing safety shot and not have the first clue there was a plant dead set. So that is a very poor thing to do. It's something your coach would tell you off for, I think. Anyone can miss a ball. No one can be criticised for that, but
8. Poor
observation of what there is. And the shot you're leaving is your own fault. Didn't cost him
8.
on this occasion.
O'Sullivan didn't get past the quarterfinals of a ranking event last season. It's good cueing from O'Sullivan.
That was a better shot than it looked, you know, very cleanly potted. Giving himself a chance to get back into this frame.
12. 13.
Fairly slender looking now, isn't it? Doesn't mean a great deal in the grand scheme of this frame where the balls are.
21.
It's great when an audience comes in to watch these great players live. It's a very different experience. Just the chance to see someone like O'Sullivan close up is, you can see all of it.
29.
The way that he operates, the cue action, the stance, just the way he is around the table.
$36.
He probably will
37.
revolve around that top left-hand red. Question of how he tackles this, because the red actually is
43.
maybe a little further away from the cushion than Ronnie would like, because he can cannon it more
44.
comfortably if he's closer to the cushion. So what is the plan here? Screw the cue ball to the left cushion and play on it in the middle. That's got to be with precision. He's played to the cushion. He's got a shot down the
48.
bottom pocket, and this would probably win in the frame if this goes in.
49.
Very well done, I think, this. Just the way he approached all that, made it all look simple.
$55.
Doing it again here. Zhang had the chance, missed the red. Sullivan has taken these very well. The initial red wasn't easy into the right centre pocket.
58.
He was in prime position.
62.
This frame is won. Doesn't appear to be much wrong with his game, does there? He's not played a lot of snooker this season, of course.
67.
He missed the first 3 ranking events.
73. 8 in the frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And he's cleared the table with 80. That was very impressive from Ronnie O'Sullivan. An early blow for Zhang Anda. O'Sullivan 1-0. Well, that is a very good pot. Not easy.
6. 13.
For a man who's 1-0 down, he's actually hitting the ball well, Zhang Anda.
21. 28. 29. 34. 35. 42.
I think he started that last frame really well, then he started looking at a lot of shots, ended up missing that red by a long way. When he plays a little quicker with
43.
more rhythm, he seems to be a better player. He starts looking at all the things that can go wrong. And invariably when you do that, they will.
49.
This has been a really good response.
50.
The initial red was certainly missable into the centre pocket.
Once again, he's not sure what to play, whether he goes into the reds or not. But, he didn't have any choice, really, and he played a delightful shot, and there was not one person in the
58.
crowd clapped him. Nothing personal, it's just they're massive O'Sullivan fans. That was a lovely shot he played.
Well,
Well, that is a very good pot.
65. 66.
Yeah, a little smattering there. Been a lovely break, like I say, and
72.
he's won in the frame this time.
73.
Well, that red will only go with a lot of side, I think. Even then, it may not be able to.
Zhang under 80. And the front.
So, a nice break that. Enough to win the frame comfortably.
Really good stuff from Zhang Anda, matching Ronnie O'Sullivan's break in the opening frame, and it's 1 frame apiece. Winner to play the Ali Carter or Zhou Yulong, who might be going onto the table pretty late this evening. They're on table 4. It was a good safety from O'Sullivan, and it's created the error. But he's found a way to continue the break. There was a bit of distance between those reds, so he had to hit it bang on, which he did. Zhang Anda may have thought that he got away with that one, but no dice.
Back. 6. 8. 9.
Well, it's always going to be a bit of a puzzle with the black completely
14.
locked out of the frame, as it appears to be. Well, it is. It doesn't appear to be.
15.
He could possibly develop it, but he's probably happy to just chip away at what's there. He'd be taking a risk trying to get high-value colours into play when you've got 3 or 4 more reds and high-value colours in the locker.
21.
No, that wasn't planned. Tried to screw back past that. Oh, got some work on that.
26.
But it's increasingly difficult with the limitations. Sort of certain colours being out of the game. The pink's not really in play either, is it, as you can see? So he is hamstrung by all of that.
27.
Probably end of break. Therein lies the problem. The greatest break bill of all time can't operate with certain balls out of play.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 27.
Rather ugly looking table at the moment, with both pink and black awkward.
That's an absolute screamer, isn't it? Of a long pot, terrific. When he first turned professional, age 16, his long game was incredible, actually. That was his asset then. The amount of times he would pop blues from the spot into the bolt pockets to recover a break.
6.
All the rest of it didn't come immediately, the cue ball control. Every time he knocks in one of those, it just takes me back to when he first
11.
appeared. 16-year-old beating almost everybody in qualifiers.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
An awkward
11.
shot there, playing with the opposite hand.
Given that he's already 38 adrift and Very difficult to launch an effective counter-attack, given the way things stand.
Seven. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
Just caught that red too thick, which is why it stayed on the lip of the pocket.
Well, that could be a moment, couldn't it? Because now Zhang, who is playing well, is in with something to go at. If this comeback is going to be complete and he's going to get the frame one, there's a lot of work to be done with the two reds to the right of the black, which seem not to be a plant to that pocket. You could move something here.
50.
There's no colour available. They're not dead in line for a plant. Seeing it from there, though, they might be makeable into a plant. First thing you look at is the gap between the reds, about a couple of 2 or 3 centimetres. Maybe you could just turn it into a set to that right corner.
$22. $28. Zhang, 28. Go on, Ronnie.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, wasn't it? Because as you saw, they weren't set as a plant. But he felt that he could turn it into one, and he probably could have done with hitting a lot less of the first red on that right side from his angle. Then it could have been gettable.
Talked to Alan McManus earlier in the week about possibly replacing his tip in the very near future, O'Sullivan. Been working pretty well for him so far this week. He hasn't always played at his best, but he's looked sharp. He's certainly looked very focused.
One.
And that was another bit of sweet cueing as he edges his way towards the winning line. It's been a bit of a battle, this frame, given the position of the balls. Need the red and another colour to go 2-1 up.
8.
And the red will not be easy.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
Not to be.
You can never be sure you're not going to hit the red incorrectly and leave something on. It's a little bit in the balance, these shots. Well, I tell you what, he didn't want that one back. He hit it well. But I think what happened there was the middle pocket was in the way of the natural angle, so he screwed it to widen the angle. Now the blue's gone safe, so that's again in O'Sullivan's favour.
1.
Ronnie seems like he can't look. Doesn't want to see what's happening.
Looks as though O'Sullivan can get through to this green. It's felt as though he's been a very heavy favourite throughout this frame. He's been in front throughout. He's had to get the points on the board in dribs and drabs. 16 the difference, so as things stand, O'Sullivan leads.
Yeah, he's playing some really good shots, Zhang, like that previous, which is certainly just making O'Sullivan a bit frustrated, I think. Doing nothing wrong, he's playing good match play.
3.
Oh, that's very well cued. He's got a good temperament. And that's another cracker.
7.
Well, it's 9 in it now, so O'Sullivan just wants one pot from here.
Bang under 7.
Zhang needs them all, but he's played a pretty tough old frame.
9 the lead. Oh, beautifully struck. Another excellent long pot, which really has been the theme of the week from him.
O'Sullivan 5.
And why wouldn't he just go for that pink there? I mean, I just don't really understand it.
Six on the frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
No messing this time. Ronnie O'Sullivan pots the pink and clinches the frame. A hard-earned frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan, a 138th. 2-1 up, halfway there. Had to really grind it out in the previous frame.
Can you stand still, please? Stand still.
Not happy, O'Sullivan, with some movement. It's more the stewarding, perhaps, he's not happy with. People are always going to wander in and out of the snooker venue if they're allowed to do so.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
Concentration is not there. They want people have to go out for refreshment or for a bathroom break and come back. They don't want to miss a frame of it. It can be a little off-putting. Tough balance because we're celebrating what tremendous crowds we've got this week.
Clearly still irked by the background movement, O'Sullivan. But it doesn't seem to be affecting his level of play, albeit he did miss that red just now. He's not amused.
Like I say, is he annoyed with the spectators, or is it that he feels that someone should be stopping them or sort of managing the coming in and out? You know, that's my point. I don't know which one it is. I think the spectators were just desperate to see the game. Don't know. But it's rattled him now, I think.
It's like coming across.
Like a sponsored walk, says O'Sullivan. Well, at least he can smile about it. Certainly Ben Williams is.
Well, I'll tell you, he does sometimes sound a bit like Ray Reardon, his great mentor, one of the great men of snooker, who equally would not have stood for things like this that put him off. I mean, Ray was a great man of snooker, but he used to fight his corner against, if he thought a referee had made a mistake or something in the crowd had upset him, he wasn't afraid to make his feelings known.
And there's still a match to be won here. Zhang has played well enough to suggest that he can still be a threat.
1.
And that is a good red.
Six. 7. $14. 15.
He's played well tonight, hasn't he, Zhang? He's 2-1 down, but not dissimilar to the match with Si Jiahui that Ronnie won.
20.
Played especially well in beating
23.
Anthony McGill. Made breaks of 127, 73 and 91 to clinch a 4-1 victory.
I mean, it's a good result, wasn't it, to beat McGill?
31. 38. 39.
Nudge again.
46. 47. 54. 55. 61. 62. 67. 68.
He made 3 frame-winning breaks in 4-1 win over Slesser, who's twice beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan. So he is playing some terrific stuff right now. He seems to be enjoying the challenge of playing the 7 times champion. O'Sullivan, well, he's shown some frustration about movement in the crowd. He must be a little concerned about how well his opponent's playing.
It is a combination of the two things, really. He's frustrated when he's at the table because his movement, well, he says that anyway.
83.
Sure, he's right, but he's not dealing with it very well, to be honest. So it goes into the mix, and this game is going to be a tough one for Sullivan to win.
He now go on to complete 9th century of this season already. He made 9 in the whole of last.
90. 97 and a threat.
Caught near jaw with the red. He deserved the century, but once again 97 will be more than enough.
Sullivan's pot success was 100%, getting about halfway through frame 2, but he's dipped quite a lot since then. 87, as you saw.
Zhang's, on the other hand, outstanding at 94.
The body language is not great for O'Sullivan. I'm sure he can regroup. But if Zhang gets in again, it'll just add to the frustration.
He's 3 out of 3 with his long-range pots so far.
1.
Never in doubt. There's 2 round of 32 appearances last season
6.
for Zhang.
7.
Started this one a lot more encouraging.
12.
I've got to play a screw shot here to get himself out to a colour. Virtually straight. This is an awkward one. I'm not sure if this is his sort of shot, though, to drop in blue like this. I don't know what he's landed
18.
on there. Yeah, that red doesn't quite go. There is a gap, but it doesn't lead directly to the pocket.
1. Hang under. 18.
He missed it by a margin, and he's fluke one. Goodness me. Wow, how important is that going to be?
It was an outrageous fluke. Frustration is there. I think the other thing I was thinking, he's had very little table time, actually, the last 20 minutes or so. It's been all Zhang. A lot of sitting down. Now, he's had an outrageous fluke, but now I suppose, has just got to take it. Trying to speed the match up.
Even that secondary kiss worked out quite nicely, didn't it?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I think he'll be having a go at something here. Something seems to have changed in his mind.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7. 5. Zhang under.
It doesn't bode well, does it? He's not happy. He's not a happy man at the moment. I mean, this match is 2-2, so he's got some breathing space, but he has to gather his thoughts if he's here to win, which I'm sure he is.
But Zhang has now made a couple of errors. Expected him to pot that one. He's overcut it. The composure he's been showing so far this week in Brentwood has certainly deserted him for the time being. Look at the table now.
Two.
A 2 at once. You only get to pot one colour, though, after it.
7.
Is that how he viewed it?
It really was, as I recall. O'Sullivan has completely lost his way and his concentration, it seems. But it's vital for Zhang to take advantage of that.
He's missed his ball this frame, which O'Sullivan couldn't capitalise on.
14.
It'd be a big thing for him to win. 0 from 3 against the Rocket in the past. So that is a sort of a barrier he's got to overcome as well.
35 the lead.
$20. $25. $26.
This blue, another red, and another colour of highish value should be enough.
31.
What's the other thing to say about Zhang is that he's a little rattled for whatever reason, and it's not his problem, is it? He's just got to do his thing, and that's what he's doing. He's remaining in his own little bubble here, and he has played really well tonight. I mean, 3-2 is not a win because he's never beaten O'Sullivan, so he's still got to deliver the killer blow in this match.
38.
Is he going to be able to regroup? That's the question.
43. 44.
Once again, he's shown admirable composure, managed to block out the noise, distractions, the fact that his opponent is clearly rattled at the moment.
Oh, Zhang under 50. 5. Ronnie O'Sullivan frames Zhang under.
Zhang under thoroughly deserves to be within a frame of what would be a huge victory for him. Rather, the composure that has got him to the round of 16 certainly seemed to have lost it for a frame and a half there. The question is whether he can now put that behind him and just focus on these last 2 frames, because Zhang Anda is playing extremely well. He might not get the chance the way Anda's potting.
Because the red and the black are close together. I'm sure Ben Williams will be onto this one. There's Ben, hovering. Just about black first. Not a lot in that.
8.
we're just going to see which way Ronnie goes with this. He went for a few indiscriminate shots towards the end of the last frame. And that's another one.
One. Foul. Zhang under 1, 5, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well now, he didn't quite catch the pack fully, although he might argue he's a bit unlucky to have gone in off. Not happening. It isn't happening. He missed that one by quite a way. Scoreline of 2-1 to O'Sullivan.
A rueful smile.
1.
It's out of O'Sullivan's hands and completely
4.
in the grip of Zhang Anda, who's just got to convert this. Good chance to a match-winning one against an opponent he's never beaten.
12. 13. 20.
So he's already 24 in front. The red spreading nicely, the black available.
1. 27.
This is a test of nerve as much as anything now for Zhang Anda. This will be a big deal for him.
35. 40.
Yes, the reds are scattered. It's almost been every frame.
41.
He's managed to get the balls into the kind of positions which makes it just about putting balls and getting on the next one. There's no disturbing of the bunch.
49.
Played it pretty well. And now, well,
56.
it's just one more pot.
57.
And it will be completely deserved as well. Good effort, this.
The local favourite has been well beaten in the
64.
end. What a cool and composed performance this has been all the way
65.
through. He's taken out frames at one visit. He's looked thoroughly unruffled. Ronnie O'Sullivan has just bitten his Q-tip off.
73.
He had made noises about replacing it in the near future anyway. But tonight is Zhang Anda's night. What a performance.
80.
There's O'Sullivan rearranging his equipment.
81.
Even though it's now nearly 10 past 11 local time, but O'Sullivan's now
89.
former tip. He's matching his best ranking performance. Hard to imagine that he's played better than this now.
No, he's played beautifully and this very well deserved this. Just to say one thing,
98.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is due to play in Wuhan.
101.
And that was the only thing that was missing from Zhang's performance. He's come close to a century a couple of times now. He's made one.
105.
And having just taken out the 7 times world champion, that he can go further. He plays like this, he certainly can.
110. 116.
He's even got the exhibition shots in his locker, and the crowd appreciating the skill that Zhang Anda is showing here. This has been some display. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
16, frame of match.
And no answer.
Zhang Anda.
A big upset on the 4th evening here in Brentwood. The 7 times world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan is out of the hands of Zhang Anda, who's played quite brilliantly. The world number 57 has scored heavily and kept his nerve when it mattered to deliver a fantastic performance and victory 4-2.